this video, we want to look at the ultimate moves that need to be charged. These powerful moves can only be unleashed once the meter has been filled, which means you start without them. All these moves should be mid-battle attacks, so none of them are like a fatality. Here are 10 ultimate moves that make you feel like a badass. When it comes to over-the-top powers, we have to talk about Dragon Ball, right? Every game in the Dragon Ball series has awesome moves, ranging from Dragon Ball Fighters to the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series.
Take this! Final Kamehameha! What?
Take Dragon Ball Xenoverse, for example. You need to unlock new moves by fighting, and to activate a power during a fight, you will need to acquire ki. The amount of ki required per move can change, but no matter what, we all know that the Kamehameha is the most iconic and badass ultimate move in the series.
Dragon Ball Z! 突入でカメハメハ!
Destiny has managed to become an iconic franchise in just a few years. One of its key components is its multiplayer modes. Each of the subclasses in the game has a super ability that charges up over time, by holding the objective, gathering orbs, and by doing damage. In our own humble opinion, the Hammer of Soul is one of the most fun to use.
Double kill. Only 5 minutes left.
Sunbreaker Titans have access to this one. It's a flaming warhammer that you can throw at your targets. It generates explosions and decimates enemies. When you've activated your Hammer of Soul Super, enemies will definitely try and stay away from you. Just look at this stuff. It looks so badass.
Double down. Yes! 3 down! Fantastic work! Outstanding!
If you aren't familiar with Final Fantasy, a limit break move will mean nothing to you. These can be considered the most damaging moves. The meter to perform such a move fills up in different ways depending on the game. Limit Break was officially first introduced in Final Fantasy VII after the Desperation attacks in Final Fantasy VI, where you need to take damage in order to power up the meter. Each character has different Limit Break powers, but Cloud Strife has one of the most badass moves ever, called the Omni Slash. This attack hits random enemies 15 times with automatic critical hits. Omni Slash is such a badass move, it makes us even more excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. In the world of action games, there aren't many games as iconic as Bayonetta. It sure has over-the-top action, but the ultimate move we're talking about are the Inferno Weaves. The Wicked Weaves are demons summoned from Bayonetta's hair that do a lot of damage. In Bayonetta 2, there's an even more powerful version called the Inferno Weaves. These will only appear when you have powered Bayonetta up into Umbran Climax. You can do this by performing attacks and combos in quick succession. The final combo will cause the Inferno Weaves to fully manifest the Infernal Demons, which will cause a lot of AoE damage. It's a treat to the eyes, really. Fighting games and ultimate moves really go well together. Injustice Gods Among Us has a super meter that fills up by fighting your opponent. When it's all the way up to level 4, you can unleash your super move, which is unique for each character. There are many great super moves like this one from Aquaman or Killer Frost. But we picked the one from the Flash for this video. When the Flash runs around the world to give you a full force punch, you know you'll be flying. These super moves are really awesome in general. I mean, just look at the way Sinestro crushes his enemy between meteors. But okay, it's hard to pick just one, I guess. Each of the characters in Overwatch can charge up an ultimate move over time by staying on the objective and by dealing damage or healing teammates. Pharah has a barrage of rockets, Roadhog becomes a walking machine gun, and then there's D.Va. She launches her mech at the tactical position, after which it will explode. It might not be the most skillful ultimate in the game, but laying waste to multiple enemies sure feels amazing.
Taking off! Nerf this!
With all the movie hype building up for Avengers Infinity War, we have to talk about the Infinity Stones. These stones are a central part in the story of the upcoming movie, but also in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. You can pick a stone for your characters, which gives them a strong move called Infinity Surge. By performing these Infinity Surges and by taking damage, you charge up your Infinity Meter. Once this meter is full enough, you can unleash your Infinity Storm. This is an even more powerful ability that also knockbacks your opponent. These stones really tickle our inner geek. We can't wait to play the upcoming Mega Man 11 that's coming out this year. However, the reason we are including Mega Man into this list is because of the Giga attacks. These powerful attacks are part of the Mega Man X series. You gain access to Giga attacks by progressing in the game, and you can charge them up by taking damage. What follows is an attack that will fill your entire screen and lay waste to many enemies and even does severe damage to bosses. It's truly a badass ultimate power. After a release on the Nintendo DS and Wii U, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition will launch on the Nintendo Switch. Just like Dynasty Warriors, this game is all about over-the-top action, but set within the Zelda universe. Charging up your ultimate isn't that hard in this game. Just defeat all those little minions and your meter will fill up fast. After that, you unleash your superpower with a simple button press. Combat is already fun in general, but powering up and using your ultimates is really an important part of Hyrule Warriors. It's the icing on the cake. The Devil May Cry games become even more awesome when you enable Devil Trigger. This allows you to unleash Dante's full supernatural potential. His speed and strength is increased and he regenerates life. In some of the DMC games, activating Devil Trigger will do damage as well, and in Devil May Cry 3, you can even charge up the strength of the Devil Trigger explosion. It's truly awesome to release your demonic powers upon your enemies, and it adds something extra to one of the best third-person action franchises out there. Are you a fan of ultimates in games? If so, what are your favorites? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos. If you've been recording any great clips with fails, glitches, or your amazing gaming skills, please send them to us. Thanks for watching and we hope to see you again soon.